Hey Connor, well it's Dad. It is Saturday night, and Dad spends a bunch of time in the yard in the afternoon. Yeah, we lost just about, well, probably our entire crop of apples this year. There was Dad had to pick up 54 dozen apples off the ground, and they all had to go in the garbage, which is 648 apples went in the garbage. And so that's a lot that the wind blew off, and then they all got kind of bashed and banged around, and they were bruised. They were all done from the fall, and the fact they were blown off. So it's a little disappointing. I was able to pick Max another 8 dozen apples for his breakfasts and suppers over the next month and a half, because they'll keep nicely for a little bit. So I did get 8 dozen. That's another 96 apples for Max. And the we did get 7 dozen for him before, and they lasted about, he ate those 7 dozen in about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? 2 to 3 weeks he'd eaten them, maybe closer to 3 weeks. So I'm not totally sure. It can't be that long. So I mean, it's probably closer to 2 weeks, because I believe it was picked at the beginning of September. So, right after we had that first tiny snowfall for that day, and then I picked a bunch for him, and he's eaten so many of them because they're smaller size. Like there are a bunch of big size ones, but there's a lot that are like, this big. So he gets 2 or 3 of them at supper when they're kind of a medium size apple. They're larger than, the mandarin oranges you have at Christmas. They're larger than that, but they're smaller than a full grown apple. So they are bigger than what they were doing when you were here. And we have some that are like really super big. And what was a little sad was, most of these apples that I found on the ground had completely turned yellow. So they were a combination of the red and getting, darker and richer red, as well as pretty much the green was gone. They were all yellow. So it is, disappointing. But the count, considering what I know of that came off the tree, whether it fell or whether we ate it, was our apple tree made over 1,200 apples this year. So it is, it's quite impressive to think that our little tree in the back made 1,200 apples. And that's the minimum, because, of course, some of them fell into the yard next door, and I have no idea how many fell there, you know what I mean? So yeah, there was at least 1,200 apples on our tree this year. So it was kind of disappointing that the wind spoiled them. If we had been able to get 2 more days, we would have had a good 700 plus apples, probably close to 800 plus apples to use and eat and turn into pies and things like that. So, a little disappointing, but it's done. Anyways, as Saturday is finishing, because I'm rambling on about our apple tree, so I got and you know what is actually surprising? I was going to tell you this too. I'm starting to see some of the leaves fall off the tree. The various trees, but they haven't turned color yet. They're still green. So we have some leaves falling off. They're green, and I don't, that's kind of strange, because they haven't gone brown, they haven't dried out or anything. They're just starting to fall off. So it is going to be a very strange autumn this year, or a very strange fall. Anyways, as bedtime is upon us, as I always tell you, do a super good job on your teeth. You gotta take care of them. And as you hop into bed, close your eyes and give yourself a big hug. And it's coming from me, and you can always get daddy hugs from me anytime you want them. And remember, I am always there standing behind you, giving you all the strength and comfort and support you need. You can draw that from me anytime, okay? I'm there with you. I love you. I miss you. And I will leave you more messages soon. Dad.